You received a call from an inmate at the Department of Corrections. This call will be recorded and monitored.
Well, hello there, young lady. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry to hear that. Okay, look, Melanie, no. You may have had your issues with your dad, but that doesn't mean being murdered in prison is a reason for you to disrespect him like that. I know. Well, okay, maybe because he wasn't in your life, maybe that did have a big effect on your life, but to say that it's all his fault that you're in prison, that's not fair. Okay. All right, I'll accept that. But just be aware that being murdered in prison that's not acceptable. So what are they doing? Is anybody looking into this? Well, that's kind of hearsay. Do you have any? Okay. All right. Yeah, I imagine your mother must be really sad, and even though he's in there, he was in there for life, and it was cut short. It's just that this is not what we're looking for. We don't want anybody to die in prison. Even with capital punishment, they should not be dying in prison. Okay. Your mother did fall in love with him, and their love produced Mellow, right? And if anybody would understand the issues that were going on in his life, it would have to be those who were close to him. And did you get a chance to go visit him? Okay. And you see, that's a good thing. And, I wish he had more of an effect on your life. He'd been more of a positive role model. Maybe, just maybe, it could have influenced you and kept you out of the life of crime. But, we don't really know for sure. For one thing, you've met a few people, since being in prison, and you've made some connections and influences, and you've learned a few things. So we have to look at the positive side of this. Okay, hey, at least give it a chance. I mean, your dad was violently murdered while serving a life sentence in a federal prison. Let that sink in. Understand the effect. What does this mean to you in your future? Right. He has family. And there's people...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And there's people that's going to be a part of your life in the future. You may get married. You may have children. And, you have in-laws. And your children will have relationships. And they're all going to look back on this. He's gone now. And I think the best thing you can do is look at the positive side. Understand what had happened in his life. Learn from his mistakes.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Learn from your mistakes. Learn what could have been. What you want to happen. Okay. Yeah, well, just spend some time with your friends. Talk. Try to figure all of this out. But to sit here and criticize him and disrespect his memory, that doesn't help anybody. Okay, yeah. Look, I will do what I can. Okay, that was a conversation with Yellow Mellow, who just informed me that her dad, who was in federal prison for multiple murders, was beat to death by another person in the prison. And she was trying to downplay it by saying, he was in and out of her life, didn't really influence her, caused her downward spiral, and just anything to try to ease the pain of hearing about this. And having a parent in prison for such a violent crime like that, being a part of the gang and going after folks, it has a negative effect. And she wanted to downplay her bad situation by blaming it on him, and that's never a good thing to do. And we all dream of the ideal family, to have mom and dad in the life and to grow up with a lot of love and support. It's just that it doesn't always happen, and that's one of the reasons why we want to change the way the justice system works. Because for some people, they're just vindictive and don't care. Others get caught up in a web of bad influences and terrible decisions. And these are the folks that are seeking help and just not finding it. And that could be the case with her dad. He was really heavily involved with the drug cartel, and he wanted, I guess, the quick profit above human life. It's to the point now we just can't ask him. We don't really know what got him in there. And one of the side effects of a prison term is the family. I'm voluntarily associating myself with people who are incarcerated. It's easy for me because I care about them and I enjoy hearing their stories. And a lot of times, some of the things I say and do can help them to move on with their life. And they just feel that they're not alone. And I can't keep them out of prison. I can't get them a lighter sentence. There's really nothing I can do to change their current condition. That's all up to them. And if they feel doubt or they want to give up, I can give words of encouragement. I can show my support. And supportive relationships have a big part with helping people to get out and stay out. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing this. And with Yellow Mellow, she didn't have that choice. She didn't choose to have a father who was incarcerated in a federal prison. She didn't select that. That came upon her. It was dropped in her lap. That was just, she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And she's coping with it in the best way she knows how. And to be convicted of murder at 17, there's people that could say her family had that influence. The fact that she was her family was associated with a heavy drug cartel like that. Except we can make our own choices. We can walk away. And it's not genetic. So I feel her pain. I understand what she's going to, and the best thing I can do is be there for her and help her to cope with all these feelings that's just bouncing through her mind. This is a time that counseling would really help her. You know, if she chooses to do that and she wants to go in that direction, that could help her. Or she just might need to just open up and express her feelings just to a close friend. And it's hard to find anybody that's locked away with her that she could really trust. So having a person she can talk to is just is very helpful and something that she should be very thankful for, and so should the rest of us. And I believe getting over pain like this will make her stronger. And so even though we have our titles and our expectations of folks that are incarcerated, we have to understand they are human. They have emotions, they have needs, they have regrets, and things that make them happy. They're proud of their accomplishments. They're ashamed of their failures. There's things that just go through their mind. And each person needs to be dealt with in an individual way. We can't just lock her up because she's a murderer. And all murderers need to be locked up. She needs to be treated like somebody who has some unresolved issues in their life, and it needs to be fixed. It's almost like the stories about a ghost where they say that the person has unresolved matters from their life, and they can't pass on to the next world until these things are resolved, So I kind of look at her like a ghost. She's just kind of floating and can't move off into a better world, a world that she feels comfortable in until she resolves these issues. And each step forward makes her stronger. And she becomes useful to the cause because she can share her experiences and she can show people that with the right attitude and the right support, you can get through anything. And yes, I agree with all the parents out there that tell their daughters, you can grow up and be anything you want. It's just that that's not all you need to tell them. You need to work with them. You need to be in their corner. And you need to show them that find the right people to work with you. I often tell folks their life is a movie, and everybody they come in contact with is supporting characters for their movie. They're the star, but they can walk across the street and get punched by a person who's a supporting character in their movie. It means that in order to get through this movie with a happy ending, that event had to happen. So rather than look at everything as a terrible thing that will destroy you, look at it as something that lifts you up and is a part of the bigger picture. And I have high hopes for this young lady, and I'm going to work with her and listen to her. That's the big thing. I'm definitely going to listen to her, and I hope those folks that that are incarcerated, you'll let them know how you feel. A simple "I love you" or "You're doing a great job, and let me know what I can do to help you accomplish your goals." Just positive word of encouragement can go a very long way. Now, once again, I want to remind you that I have Oxyword on YouTube. It's under my YouTube channel, the Joel Wilborn channel. You can tune in there and listen to people explaining their situation over the phone. These are real telephone conversations. And a lot of them provide contact information, so you can give them some support as well. We can get rid of crime, the major crimes and the big mass amount of crime, simply by attacking the source. What caused this to start up? And the only way to find out is to talk with the people, hang out with the people. Those who've already committed the crimes, we can help them to not commit any more crimes. And then those who are considering crimes, we just need to educate them. So we need to get this communication going. There's a lot of things that can be done. And my method is to work with people on an individual. So if you find one person you want to talk with, one person to be a pen pal with, I just picked up a few new ones this week. And I feel excited because they're thanking me for answering the phone. They're thanking me for the work that I do. And they're thanking me for being there. And, I'm not really doing a lot for their life. And I like that. I like little effort produces a great result. So thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day and go out and make fantastic memories for tomorrow.